So, with that being said, today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. You know, the top-rated sportsbooking app in the U.S. And when you talk about why DraftKings Sportsbook is dope, it's because they're safe, they're secure, and they are reliable. Meaning, when you're supposed to get paid, you get paid on time. Speaking of, shout out to Deke. He paid me on time, man. Deke pays his bets on time because he's reliable. He's consistent. He's safe. Just like DraftKings Sportsbook. And when it comes to DraftKings, if you put your, $5 deposit down your first bet and you use the promo code MOATS, that's MOATS, you will receive $200 in draft deposit money. It's free money. It's money that you use to go make more money potentially, all right? It's a great concept. It's a great situation. Promo code. You put it in. You get that money out. You see how we working, right? But, Deke, I also got to talk about how some people can't handle this lifestyle. Some people cannot handle gambling. They might have a problem. Shoot, they might even need some crisis counseling, Deke. Deke, I know there's one person, they needed referral services. They were in New York too. So I just told them this little number they could text and it was cool. But for everybody else, you know what I tell them?
What's that?
It's this number you got to call. And it goes like 1-800-GAMBLER. I said 1-800-GAMBLER.
You mentioned last time you were on, you were going to have a trade package for us with Deontay Johnson included. What are your fake trades with him?
Okay. I do.
Because we definitely was over here like, yo, make sure you save that. All right, when he come back on the show, we gonna ask him. So yeah, we've been plotting on this for a little minute now. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Package up. You gotta do a mega trade. You gotta do something like Diontae and Najee. Right. That's a big boy thing. You send that somewhere like, I'm trying to think who would bite. Buffalo.
Hey, yo, why you think Buffalo some suckers,
Moats
bro?
was talking about them looking at receivers, like a second receiver.
Are, but not in the sense of like bringing on a guy that's going to be 18 in terms of that
Lost
money. We looking for like the cheap version. You know what I'm saying? Rookie contract version.
Buffalo or Vegas. Hear me, don't. All
right.
You go get a
with Brady.
Third.
With Brady.
You go get a first, a third. You go get picks. You go get a first, a third, a fourth, and a team. And a low profile receiver.
Low profile receiver?
Or you do something like you ship Diontae. You go from Diontae, you gotta get, if you get a third, a second and a third, because they got a second for Claypool. So they're already up. You see it? They're already up.
And that second low key is a first, man. It's the 32nd overall pick.
Off-season timing may throw things off, though.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because now probably people are looking at these receivers in the draft and be like, you know what? We'll get them for 4 years on this rookie contract.
They already said it's no ones in the draft. That's like a known thing. It's no ones in the draft. Like the only one that's possibly maybe a one they're saying is the boy from Ohio State. So it's like, this isn't a super big receiver draft. That's why it's a good time to work.
Yeah,
on.
After him and Addison, it's that dude from TCU that got locked up in the national championship.
Yeah, because he's more like vertical, big body. Yeah,
you got him, but they're not even saying Addison.
They talk about him kind of like as a slot too, though, bro. I've seen them saying like he could play some more on the inside.
I think that's who Addison's. I think Addison's a Diontae.
Yeah,
he is. I think. Yeah, I think he could. He could be a higher end version of Diontae.
Yeah,
but is Diontae a one? Isn't that the argument?
That's the conversation. Is he a high end two or is he a low end one?
Yeah, I think Deontay's a high end two. Like I think he's elite. I think he's a real good player. I think he's a high end two though.
Yeah.
Simply because of his size. Like it's no shot, but it's hard to get them the ball that same way.
Right.
Just similar to Devontae Smith in Philly.
Yeah.
I think he's a high end two. I think those are high end twos.
Like for AB to become the one, that was like unique in terms of having a receiver that's built like that. Living and thriving on the outside. Most of those
like
guys
Steve
are
Smith
slots.
is the only other guy I could think
right.
of.
Most of the dudes are slots. Yeah.
Yeah, those are slot like bodies. You know, so to me, I think Diontae is a high end 2. I think he's a really good player. I think he's a high end 2. You get with somebody that's a 1, similar to like an AJ Brown. I think he excels at a high level. You know, I think him having to carry the weight, it gives him a struggle. And I do think 14 is a 1 for him. Like when you're about to check it, I think Pickens is a 1. You feel me? But I still think that 18 million is too much for a high end 2. You see it?
No, that makes sense. And that was part of the reason why the contract was so criticized when it was given to him, and why even all three of us talking about it at one point in time were like, what is the number? Like, you can't give him 20, you can't give him 22, but at the same time, he's above like that 14, 15 just by the market.
Yeah, some of those receiver contracts were crazy last year.
I think you trade him. I think he's gonna get traded. He's for sure gonna get traded. But
so you're saying is this all season you think this happens, or you're saying during the season it happens?
No, he gets traded before in the offseason. I think
he's not putting that jersey on again, is what you're telling us.
No, you won't see that no more.
Okay.
I don't see.
So we're drafting a receiver then. You have this whole scenario playing out.
I think they're going to draft a receiver. I think they're going to trade that off. They're going to use that pick to come back on the line-ish. You know, he might go try to get a corner. But I see that getting traded. You know, I told you I package Najee up, and I try to go get a second and a third ASAP.
You could get that, just not in Buffalo, man. But I'm sure you can find a suck out there. It's just not in Buffalo.
I think somebody will bite on that. Somebody like a Buffalo.
No, not a Buffalo.
I think his trade value is probably a second right now with how he finished the
season.
Fair,
but not. I don't think it's a fit in Buffalo, man.
I really think you can steal a second out of that right now. Now,
I agree. I do too. I just don't think it'd be Buffalo though.
I think it would be like a Buffalo, somebody that just got bumped out, somebody that did a run game a little bit stronger than what they had, somebody that needs something for the cold. That would have been perfect for them that night. A big body run game with the way Josh Allen was playing.
I like how Josh had one bad game. They finally lose one game, and out of what they won 8 in a row, they lose one in January. Now it's like, oh man,
I could see
a running
TG's
game.
vision for this trade. Though.
Like,
he was talking about this like 3 months ago.
They could run the ball. Their problem is arrogance, man. They don't want to run that ball, but they need to commit to it. That's a different conversation, though.
Well, we know they don't run the ball.
Yeah. So why would they go and spend on a running back when they're not even going to run the ball? That's what I'm telling you. They ain't doing it.
They'll make them do it because they're giving.
I hope it will, but it ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna run that route.
You gotta spend and get somebody to run the ball because of what you just seen. They need to be able to get off of Josh.
But this is the thing. They have guys that can run the ball. Now, I think they can add more to their offensive line. I think that's a conversation. But in terms of bringing in a Najee, I don't think that's the fit. That slows it down.
I think they're a team that's Super Bowl or bust. That's where they're at right now.
Oh, no, they definitely are there. Absolutely, they're there.
Everybody says they're thinking that, but they're a Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah, they're definitely there. That's the mindset they're in for the next 2 years at least right now, man. Absolutely.
So with them being a Super Bowl or bust, I think you got to be willing to slow it down in certain times. I think you got to be.
But I think Najee is too slow is what I'm telling you. They still want speed. They want to still have some element. You think Joe Mixon, right? Joe Mixon ain't no just big bruising back. Joe Mixon can still run by you if you let him.
You're talking someone like a Brees Hall.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, like a Brees Hall, like that. Like, I need some juice. That's not the juice. That's just power. It works, but that ain't what they need. They still need some juice. Jacobs. Yeah, they need a little bit of that.
Maybe they draft that then. Maybe they draft that.
Possibility. But they just drafted one. They drafted a running back last year, but it wasn't a big body. James Cook, obviously, but he's not a big body guy.
Yeah. And then they brought in Himes.
Mm-hmm.
So he was supposed to be like the scat back.
Mm-hmm. You still got a Devin Singletary up there as well. So
he's unrestricted, right?
If I remember right, they had signed J.D. McKissick in the preseason.
He was another one. Yep.
Yeah, he was a scat back. It just didn't work out. Yep. He ended up going to the Commanders. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm saying. They're clearly been looking for a certain kind of back. Their whole rumor was Saquon.
Yeah, because what is Saquon though? Saquon is nowhere near a Najee. Saquon is more like Singletary, more like James Cook, but bigger, more polished, more established. That's what they're looking for. They don't want like Najee is. Bro, Najee's like running zone defense, man. They trying full court pressure over there in Buffalo. Najee's like, we're going to take the air off this ball, and we're going to slow this thing down. They don't want to play that, bro.
They know, look, the way they see it, everything comes through Buffalo. You know how we used to say, like,
absolutely. Yeah,
so they
absolutely.
feel like everything comes through Buffalo. It's going to get cold in there come November and December when it's his time to be him. Yeah. I think it would be an absolute perfect trade for them to give up like a third. F them picks.
Hey, that's why we need Najee, though. We need him for that December, January here, right?
Over here, I mean,
it's coming through Pittsburgh here.
He's for November and December. I hear you.
He said that it's not gonna get that use in Pittsburgh. Is what he just said.
Come on,
you heard what he just said. He said that's for Buffalo because they.
Why'd you say November, December?
Yeah, you heard January. That right? You heard that right.
Come on,
you heard that right.
He got to put in more. We got to put in more work over here than he would put in there. You feel that? You know.
He was cooking here though.
He said, "I work a little too hard down here, man. It's going to run his battery out." Yeah. They said that, man.
O-line's young, getting better.
Listen, Najee in Buffalo works. It does, but it's like you said, he's not the feature there. So that's why I'm like, they're not giving up a quality asset like a second or third for a Najee that they're not going to utilize like that. Pittsburgh, we utilize Najee as our feature here. Najee is we run our offense through him right now. Especially down the stretch. Yes, we did. Down the stretch, we did. Think about when we started winning down the second half of the season, the running game picked up. Najee picked up. And then Kenny would give you that fourth quarter. He would give you a drive or two. But Najee picked up the productivity. That was the difference.
I hear you.
Yeah, but they're not going to run an offense like that in Buffalo. Buffalo, they barely want to get under center in Buffalo. Najee's best play is when he's in the dot coming downhill. Yeah. Buffalo, bro. Yeah. Buffalo wants to play 4 and 5 wide. They want to run that ball out the gun. They do that cute stuff. That's part of the reason why they tripping right now. It's like, you got to get under center, man. You got to run this rock under the dot, play action that thing a little bit. But that's for another conversation. But yeah, man, I just think that Najee, man, I think he's a perfect fit here for the offense that we're running here. We don't run 5 wides. We running 12 personnel and trying to run this rock, man.
I'm with you. He might need to go somewhere like a Houston, you know.
But they got the boy Pierce down there.
That boy did run well this year. I'm just saying that's the type of program he needs to get to, like a Houston. Obviously, the Colts got their guy, but somewhere like
this is where he gonna end up at. I got you. So when Saquon go to Buffalo,
are you gonna say Arizona?
He'll go to the Giants. Saquon come to Buffalo. He'll go to the Giants. He can't go to Arizona. They got James Conner out there still. You know.
I'm on the keep Najee train at this point. I'm on the keep Najee train.
I don't see Saquon going to Buffalo. I don't see them pulling that off.
They ain't win now mode. Remember, it's Super Bowl or bust.
They are in win now mode.
What have the Rams been? That's what the Rams are doing
for McCaffrey.
You said what stopped them? No, they tried to. I thought that the price was too high.
You know, that's a name you should keep out.
The price was just high. They wanted McCaffrey. The price was just too high. But they definitely wanted the mix though.
Watch out for.
Yeah, it wasn't the cap hit.
Yeah,
it was just
it was just the picks. They didn't want to do that part for a running back.
You're saying they can afford Barkley somehow this upcoming year?
Who? Miami?
No. He's talking about Buffalo still. Yeah, I'd have I'm not going to say him.
It's like
could you make it work? I'm sure you can make it work. That's what I'm saying.
Type of scenario where you might have to pay for it in a year or two.
You take the LA Rams approach.
Man,
we living for the now. We'll deal with it. Yeah, we doing for right now. No, we trying to win right now. If this is because it is win now mode for them. They have the pieces in place, but it's like TG said, you're looking for one. Now we don't know which we bet in the house on. Is it on offense or on defense? And that's where you got to hit right if you take this approach. This is different. Like Pittsburgh, we've been on draft, slow and steady. Trust the process. Buffalo was like, we done been in the process. We right on the end of this thing. What are we missing to take us over the hump? So it's different stages, but if you wrong with it, that's the problem. Yeah, when you start spending like that, because
you got an island that will keep you relevant though for maybe a lean year or two, and then you kind of have to try to reload after that potentially.